Hey fellow tennis nerds, I hope all is well. Welcome to another mixed bag where I will talk a bit about pro player racket updates, but also some personal stuff going on. I'm actually playing an ITF tournament in Malaga at the moment. It's not ITF Futures, it's ITF Masters, which is the new name for ITF Seniors. Playing in the men's 35 category. First match against Volodymyr. Escaped from Ukraine due to the war. Poor guy, still happy guy, nice positive attitude. I really enjoyed our conversations in between points, and after the match I managed to win in dreadful conditions. Was really difficult to play any kind of proper tennis. I will compile some highlights from this tournament in a separate video, so watch that space. I'm doing match recaps kind of on my patreon.com/tennisnerd. Have a match in a few hours. And I'm also playing doubles with my friend Daniel, who you might have seen in previous videos. I've featured him a few times, Daniel Rutkowski. Graf van der Schweinitz, I think his full name. He has a very long name, which I think is cool, but I don't remember it usually. And a very nice guy, great player. He asked me if I wanted to play doubles, and I can't say no to such a good player. We'll have some fun at least, playing semifinals tomorrow, and we're also playing in the same singles tournament. And he's gone through his matches pretty effortlessly, and we'll see how it goes for me, but we'll play later on in the week because it's a round-robin tournament. I've been playing with the Radical MP, the new one, strung with Yonex Polytor Rev 1.25 gauge at 23 kilos. I added 2 grams of weight up in the 12 o'clock position of the racket to get it a bit more power and stability. Usually do that unless the swing weight is pretty much spot on from the get-go. Very good racket. It's not like something fantastic, but it just gives me what I put into it, and I think it works pretty well for match play so far. I played it with also in training matches, so that's why I'm using that one. Not a confirmed switch as of yet, but I'm bringing that one and my Babolat soft drive customized to my matches and to my trainings right now. But I also have loads of rackets and strings and shoes to test. Adidas Cybersonic Tourline strings, which I think are great strings. I haven't tried the Wasabi and the Super Toro, so very keen to do that after I've been playing with the Caviar, which is one of my favorite poly strings. I use that as my kind of go-to string in the soft drive. And I also have a bunch of Vulcan rackets, the V1 Evo, the C10 Pro Evo, and the V8 Pro. So interesting frames with a few different strings. I'm going to test them. And I also have the Dunlop FX series, the power series from Dunlop, as endorsed by Jack Draper and a few other players. Now also Alexei Poprin. So I'm trying the Tour and the 500. And I really like those rackets in the previous generation. These ones feel a bit softer, but that's just my first impressions. Always first impressions on patreon.com/tennisnerd for Tennis Nerd members. And yeah, big thank you to all you patrons. You know who you are. I really appreciate the support. And if you have questions about Daniel's racket setup, I'm going to do something specific about that perhaps later on, but it's actually a Pure Aero VS that he has added weight to, so it's customized to be quite heavy. So if you're curious about his setup, I can make a separate video with some hitting of him and his racket setup. And we actually had a training this morning where I used the soft drive and the Radical MP, just some warm up, trying to play it like the pros, like warm up in the morning, and then we have the match later on. He's playing right now while I'm recording, and I'm going to play in a few hours. Before we move into the pro player observations, I want to thank the sponsor of this video, Fuzzy Yellow Balls. You've seen this before. The singles playbook, great playbook and manual to learn how to beat different opponents, pushers, serve and volleyers, aggressive baseliners. You get kind of recipes and plays that you can utilize in your game to win more matches, more points, and become more successful competitively. Each chapter comes with a video, so you can actually engage a bit deeper in these lessons. So check it out. The link is in the description. I bought this product way before they asked to sponsor, so I can honestly just recommend it because it's a good product. On the Pro Tour, my fellow tennis nerds on Instagram have alerted me that Jack Sock is playing with an E-Zone. He used to play with the Aero Storm, kind of the older version of the VS or the now Aero 98. Used to string it with all the power at a very low tension, relatively speaking, around 40 pounds or even lower, 38. But now he's switching, maybe due to sponsorship money, maybe he just wants to try something new. Can he come back to his old, very successful form? I mean, he had a very good career, and then he just, sunk through the rankings pretty badly for a period, and now he seems to be back to playing a bit more focused again. He always had a great doubles career, but the singles was great for a while, and now he's been struggling for the last bunch of years. Christian Garin, he is a guy who is open to testing rackets. used to play with the Radical, then you saw him with the H22 or the Blade, I'm not quite sure. Then it was the E-Zone, he's been a bit all over the place. And now you've seen pictures of him with the Shift, the Wilson Shift, the new racket line from Wilson, soon to be released. Will that be some kind of shift for him? Or is it just a cosmetic of some other racket? I don't know. But this guy seems to be a little bit confused in terms of rackets. And that usually is seen in his game. And he has not had like so many great results recently. So I think being confused with rackets is never a good thing, as you might know, and as I definitely know. Last but not least, the Wilson Burn version 5 have been spotted on the interwebs. Guy sent over some screens. I have not seen this one. I have not heard about it. But it looks to be reality, the Wilson Burn version 5. This is the power racket from Wilson, power and spin. I don't know if there are any Burn fans out there, but the line seems to be getting an update later this year by the looks of it. If you wonder about this hoodie, it's from a brand called Sigrun. Don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly, and they have some excellent quality. I'm not saying this because they sponsored the video, because they didn't, but I was very impressed by the materials in their clothing. I like these funky hoodies, so check it out if you're curious. I'll put a link in the description of that as well. All right, I think that's it for this mixed bag. Quite mixed one, quite quick one. Time to get warmed up. Always warm up before your tennis. Let's do some stretching and stuff like that with my old body. Hope you enjoyed it. Have a nice day, and don't forget to play some tennis.